So you want to know what watch killed my Submariner? Before we get started, time for a wristwatch check, and I'm wearing the watch that killed my sub today. That is the Vacheron Overseas 47040. Now, a lot of you watching this may not have even heard of Vacheron Constantine, and that's okay, because that's what this channel's for you to find out about these brands. Now, you've all heard of Rolex, but what if I was to tell you that Vacheron is actually over twice the age of Rolex? Rolex was established in 1905, so a while ago, but Vacheron was established in 1755. Now, you may be thinking, well, if they were established then, why haven't you heard of them? Well, that's because they only make 25,000 watches a year. In comparison, Rolex make 800,000 a year. So what makes Vacheron so special? Well, they're part of the Holy Trinity, and if you Google Vacheron the company, you will see some amazing watches they made, and they've made watches for everyone. We're talking the Queen of England, Diana, the Wright brothers, Marlon Brando, Napoleon, and the list goes on. Anyone who is anyone, especially royalty, has owned a Vacheron. Now, why is this? Well, because to me, they are luxury. Now, we all know Rolex is a luxury brand and comes with a luxury price tag, but they are 98% machine made. A watchmaker very rarely will touch a Rolex watch during the manufacturing process. Now, this isn't a bad thing, because they have nailed it. They are very reliable, very well made, very well finished, considering it's machine made, to a high standard. No one can argue that. But this is hand finished. We will look at the details in a second, and you will see how much better this watch is finished compared to a Rolex. Now, I'm not saying Rolex is bad, but I'm saying for the same price, this is better. 100%. It killed my sub, hence why I got rid of it for this. Now, today, on the 15th of May 2020, these are pretty much the same price. I'll put them up here, just Chrono 24, and they're pretty much the same price. And I know which one I would prefer. So now let's take a closer look at this watch, because I think you would appreciate the details as much as I do. Now let's take a closer look at the clasp. Now, Rolex has the Oyster clasp, which has the glide lock in it, which is a very good system for adjusting your watch on the move. But to be honest, I've never had to adjust this. It's never felt tight. It just fits perfect. You can get half links for this to make the fit perfect for you, but I prefer this clasp. Look at it, it's beautiful, smooth, flush. A Rolex Submariner, if you look, just has a massive box, whereas this has the logo, and then the logo is also on the pushers, the Maltese cross, and also through the bracelet. Now, this bracelet, every link is removable. I can't think of another watch where every link is removable. That's not cheap to manufacture, hence why a lot of watch companies don't do it. Now let's have a look at the case back. Now, Rolex never decorate a case back, but look at this. This is luxury. You don't see this. No one sees this except for you. And look at the different finishing. You've got polished, you've got brushed edges, you've got a sandblast in the middle. 150 meters water resistant, so not as deep as the sub, but 150 is plenty for me, with a screw down crown as well. This watch is also anti-magnetic, even though it's only 10mm thick, so it's a lot thinner than the sub. The sub is 12.3, so it's 25% pretty much slimmer than a sub. Also, it's 51mm in length. The sub is 48mm from lug to lug, but the sub is also from finish of the bracelet, end link to end link, 51mm, the same size as this. The benefit of this watch is it's 42 though, so it's bigger, which is a more modern size now. Nothing wrong with 40mm, but I prefer 42 on my wrist, which are 7.5 inch. And then look at that dial. That's a Rolex gear shade dial. No competition between this and the sub. You also got the applied Vacheron logo, applied numerals. Overall, just a lot better. And you can see the polished and the brushed edges, even on the bracelet here. If you have a look in between these links, they're all polished. The bevel on the outside, it's just a completely different world to the Rolex. Now, this is the generation 2 overseas. The generation 3, I don't particularly like the shape of the case. I prefer this one, because generation 3 has a little lip here. If you have a look on the picture, and I don't see why that's necessary. It's got a screw down crown as well. Again, the Maltese cross. I just think overall this is a much better watch. It's got a JLC movement in, made for Vacheron. Now those of you that don't know who JLC are, I won't pronounce their proper name because I will murder it. They are known as the watchmaker's watchmaker. They over-engineer everything, and when I say over-engineer, let's use the quick set date. Look at how quick that changes. Literally in a blink of an eye. JLC are known to over-engineer movements. 10mm thick, iron cage, bezel. Don't think it gets any better. Let's throw it on the wrist. Now again, I think 42mm is a perfect size, and this gets daily use with 7 dogs, so I think it's held up pretty well. So let me know what you think. Have I made the right decision selling my sub for this? Now I hope you enjoyed that closer look at my Vacheron overseas. Now I haven't got a Rolex box, a modern Rolex box I should say, to compare, but the packaging is special on this watch, I can promise you that. And if you follow me on Watches and Sneakers on my Instagram page, you see that I own quite a few watches in my past, and this is the best box and papers you'd ever see. Now let's remove the outer box. Inside you get this. Absolutely stunning. I think it's a nice little touch, and this is what makes it luxury. This is just, they didn't have to do all this with the wooden bottom, the button, the engraving, the tissue. They didn't have to. Rolex don't. A lot of companies don't. Vacheron did. And here's the papers. Honestly, the leather on this. You see the little Vacheron crown. Tag. You got all this. I just think it's a nice touch. And this again is what makes it a luxury product. And again, I'm only comparing this to the sub because they are pretty much exactly the same price. Yet this is worlds apart in every department. The only department the sub wins in is the fact it's got a ceramic bezel for diving. Get a Seiko turtle, 350 quid. Take that diving. If you're not going diving, this wins every day for me. Thank you for watching, and if you don't agree with me and you think I've made a terrible decision selling my Submariner and picking up this, please leave down in the comments as to why you think I've made a bad decision. Thank you for watching.